Hi, I'm Viginia Kantra, and I'm here to share 10 fun facts about Beth and Amy. Beth and Amy is my contemporary retelling based on Louisa May Alcott's Little Women. So, fun fact number 1. The original Little Women was published in 2 volumes, Little Women and Good Wives, with the action set about 3 years apart. So in my contemporary retelling, it's told in 2 volumes, Meg and Jo and Beth and Amy, with the action taking place about 3 years apart. Fun fact number 2. I originally visited Louisa May Alcott's home in Concord, Massachusetts, Orchard House, with writer pal Suzanne Rockman back in 2014. And then it took me a while to figure out what to do with that story. Like Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, I drew on my own experience and emotions to write the story of Beth and Amy and Meg and Jo. But I also drew on biographical information about Louisa May Alcott's own life. So one thing is that the character of Amy March, the artist, is based on Louisa's own sister, May. May was an accomplished artist who had 2 paintings accepted into the prestigious Paris Salon, and she was an art teacher too. And one of her students was Daniel French, who designed the Lincoln Memorial. And I think there was a little bit of sibling rivalry going on, which I definitely exploit in my storylines. The prologue of Beth and Amy takes place at the beach. There's a really famous scene in Little Women where the 4 sisters and their good neighbor and friend, Trey Lawrence, or Teddy in the original, go up on a hillside and they look at the clouds rolling by and they dream about what they want to do and who they want to be when they grow up. I've aged the sisters up because I think that we're really still trying to figure out what we want to do when we grow up, when we're in our 20s. But I set that story at the beach because I used to go there with my kids, and here I am with my older son, and we're building not castles in the air, but castles in the sand. So that's where I set my prologue, at the beach. Okay, fun fact number 5, more Amy. She's still an artist, but now she designs handbags. And for that, I was inspired by North Carolina designer Holly Aiken. And this is one of her bags, and you should look her up because she's really good. The character of Mr. March, Beth and Amy and Meg and Jo's dad, is based less on the saintly Mr. March we all love in Little Women and more on Louisa May Alcott's own father, transcendentalist philosopher, educator, reformer, and terrible provider, Bronson Alcott. When Louisa May Alcott was about 10, Bronson dragged his whole family off on this commune-style farm called Fruitlands, where they had to grow their own foods and refrain from stimulants, which included warm water, caffeine, alcohol, and sex. And after 7 months of privation and near starvation, Louisa May Alcott's mom had enough, and she packed up her 4 girls and she moved them to another farm. And that was really the germ of the character of Abby March in Meg and Jo and Beth and Amy. I originally thought, another fun fact, Abby March was going to have a cougar thing going on with my hot, silent farmhand, Dan. But that didn't happen because sometimes characters tell you what they're going to do and it's not what you have planned. That was certainly true for Abby, and it was also true for Beth. Now, like Amy March, the character of Beth March is drawn on part of Louisa's real life. She had a sister, Lizzie, who died. And it was also partly drawn on a poem called The Angel in the House, which was popular at that time. And you can find, if you're into looking for Easter eggs, you can find little references to angels in the character of Beth in Beth and Amy. It is, for example, the nickname that her superstar boyfriend, country musician Colt Henderson, gives her. And there are some other references as well. Beth's story is inspirational and it's aspirational, and I don't want to give too many spoilers away. So instead, I'm going to share with you a picture of her guitar. This is the guitar that old Mr. Lawrence gives her, and it's a Gibson Hummingbird, and you can see that there's an actual hummingbird on it, which I think is so beautiful. I was halfway through the book before I figured out what Beth's problem was, so I wasn't too surprised that it took her family so long to figure it out too. I put actual bits of dialogue from Little Women into the mouths of my characters. I hope you'll find them. I hope you'll love them. I hope you'll be inspired by them, whether you're new to the story or whether you're very familiar with it. One line that is often quoted of Louisa May Alcott's is, "I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning how to sail my ship." And I do have one of the characters in Beth and Amy say that. And finally, my last fun fact. This is my copy of Little Women, not the original one that my grandmother gave me and my sister when I was 10 years old, because my sister has that. But this is mine that I bought for myself in 1974. And it's got these wonderful, it's the Centennial edition, and it has these wonderful illustrations by Jessie Wilcox Smith. And one of my favorites is this illustration of Amy and Laurie. And I want you to look very carefully at Laurie, or Trey, as I call him in my book. And then I want you to look at the guy I was dating at the time. And if you follow me on social media, you'll know that that's why, that's my Italian guy. And we're married. And it's been a joy to live with him. It's been a joy to write this story. It's been a joy to share the romance of Amy and Trey and the story of Beth March. And I can't wait to share them with you. I hope you'll look for Beth and Amy, and of course, for Meg and Joe. And thanks so much for hanging out with me.